Maintaining biodiversity and ecosystems.
Why is biodiversity important? An ecosystem with sufficient biodiversity can restore its proper functioning after a disturbance. Resources such as food, medicine, and building materials are provided from diverse plant life. Oxygen, clean air, fresh water, and soil fertility are necessary for human survival and depend on a functioning ecosystem. Genetic diversity helps prevent the extinction of organisms. The Earth is home to an amazing range of biodiversity with an estimated 1.7 million species in existence today. Disturbance remediation. Human activities can disturb an ecosystem in ways that reduce biodiversity. Fortunately, humans have the ability to remedy the ecosystem disturbances that they create, but it's not always simple. Done poorly, remediation can cost excessive money and negatively impact people's lives. Remediation must be based on science and thought through carefully to achieve the most positive outcomes with the least negative impact, if any, on the economy and society. As an example, the following slides focus on strategies for reducing the production of excessive greenhouse gases.
Burning fossil fuels, such as coal, natural gas, and oil, emits excessive greenhouse gases that contribute to global climate change. While we could simply stop burning fossil fuels, doing so without first putting alternatives in place would damage transportation systems, food supplies, and the heating and cooling of homes. However, first developing and putting alternatives in place could lead to severely limiting or even eliminating the impact of burning fossil fuels with few, if any, negative impacts. Since many alternatives have other associated challenges, the best solution will be made up of a number of different elements to balance out the costs and benefits. Technological solutions are already having an impact and should have a growing effect over time. Hydropower can reduce the burning of fossil fuels, but has its own impact in that it can require rivers to be dammed, which can harm native fish species, including the spawning of salmon. As it provides steady, reliable power, hydropower will be one element in a comprehensive solution, but not the only element. Wind power has only recently become price competitive with burning fossil fuels. Its cost has declined 40% over the last several years, and in 2019 represented 6.5% of the U.S. electricity supply, and is growing fast. Technological innovation has led to larger, more efficient turbines. Drawbacks include the amount of space required, and some people don't like the way they look. The cost for solar power has declined 80% in the last several years. Ongoing technological improvements are expected to keep driving the cost of solar power lower. Drawbacks include the amount of space required, and some people don't like the way they look. There are ecological impacts from the manufacture of solar cells. Natural gas emits the least carbon dioxide of the fossil fuels, while coal emits the most. It is a very reliable power source, and the technology is well understood. Natural gas has declined in price and increased in supply due to fracking. Coal has become more expensive to both obtain and burn. As a result, natural gas is displacing coal, with the result that carbon dioxide emissions and air pollution are being reduced. There are concerns about fracking. For instance, groundwater can be polluted if it is not done properly. For the first time, it appears that both renewable sources, like hydroelectric, solar, and wind, and nuclear power plants will each produce more U.S. electricity than coal. Currently, solar and wind generation is cheaper to build than it is to maintain coal-powered plants, so coal plants are being abandoned. Natural gas use is staying about constant in use, as its plants are cheaper to build and maintain, and it can complement wind and solar for nights and at times when there's not enough wind. Nuclear power is a steady, reliable source of power, generates no air pollution, and does not contribute to global warming. The white smoke is just steam, or water vapor, that is removing heat from the system. It does not go anywhere near the radiation from the nuclear reaction. However, there are concerns about the disposal and storage of radioactive waste. Also, nuclear power plants are cooled and the result is local waterways warm, affecting aquatic life. While accidents at nuclear power plants are exceedingly rare, the consequences are so severe that this is a concern with current designs. Nuclear power will remain part of the energy solution. As our sources of electricity are trending towards becoming cleaner, another innovation is to reduce the need for electricity. Advanced designs achieve the same results with less electricity, which allow us to eliminate the most expensive, most polluting forms of electricity. One example is the LED light bulb, which produces the same light as a traditional tungsten bulb but uses up to 85% less electricity. An LED bulb produces the same light as a 60-watt tungsten bulb but uses only 10 watts of power. The average price of the LED equivalent of a 60-watt bulb dropped from $16 to $8 between 2015 and 2018. They are so much cheaper to use than a traditional bulb and last about 10 times as long that people switch to them just for cost reasons, not because they are good for the environment, but they are. This shows the cost of a traditional 60-watt bulb versus an equivalent LED bulb for 20,000 hours of use, the life of an LED bulb. This assumes electricity costs 10 cents per kilowatt hour, and the LED bulb lasts 10 times as long as the traditional bulb. The cost of electricity far exceeds the cost of the bulbs, so replacing traditional bulbs immediately saves the most money. The solutions designed to reduce the ecosystem impact due to greenhouse gases have advantages and disadvantages. There is no one perfect solution. A combination of natural gas, nuclear power, wind power, solar power, hydropower, and technologies not yet known will be used to supply energy and minimize damage to ecosystems.